Hey y'all, it's Providence, and I'm going to be doing a collective reading today. I just felt inspired to do a reading. I haven't done one in a while. I mean, I have because obviously I read almost every day in person. I'm sure I actually, well, yeah, I am, because I've heard people tell me that they come from out of town sometimes, and I guess I've given people readings in person who have seen me here on YouTube, and maybe even over the phone. Okay. That was good. Okay, we're gonna keep it there. All right, so let me go ahead and cut these cards, and then I am going to lay them out, and then I'm just gonna start talking, and then I'm gonna get ready for work, because I gotta get going. Thankfully, my roommate made it possible for me to be able to do something a little extra, give me a little time today. Because, honey, time is of the essence. Let's see what's going on. Let me just put these cards here the way that I want them to be. If y'all listen to lo-fi on YouTube, y'all probably heard this one before. Okay? I know I have. All right. So, at the bottom is the Ten of Cups. This is a really good card because it's about emotional satisfaction or just an overwhelming sense of emotion. You could be emotionally overwhelmed, some of you. Some of you, it's the extremes though, right? Because the tens are kind of like extremes. It's like 1, because they reduce to that, but then it's also 10. It's like, man, right? So, it's Pisces, right? So it's saying follow, right? 10, Wheel of Fortune. Follow your intuition. You know what I mean? It's saying follow your heart as well, okay? Because we know another card that reduces to a 10 too, okay? And that will be the sun. This is also just talking about your chakras, right? I think the 10s are about balance, because if a wheel needs to roll, it needs to be balanced. So some of you need emotional balance, right? Yeah, for sure. And also, I feel like you need to be aware of your own emotional needs if this is reducing to that, right? And, you know, overall satisfaction. This is also talking about, I don't know, the karmic wheel, right? And it's like pouring, more. So some of you are going to be feeling very emotionally abundant. You know, emotions can be from any end of that spectrum. You know, I told you about those extremes. So I don't know what your emotion is, but you're feeling a lot of that. So if it's good, yes. If it's bad, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the center card. The Fool. Wow, Uranus. This is the higher octane of Mercury. And you know, the Fool is someone who doesn't necessarily watch where they're going. You know, they're not minding their steps, right? This is also that song, Order My Steps. You know, because when I look at the Fool, they say God protects babies and fools, right? This is also about balance as well, you know? Because when the scale is at 0, honey, it's balanced. You know, or if you can manipulate some things and move them around and stuff like that, you might be able to achieve some balance. But this is also just talking about being mindful of where you tread, you know? And this is also very much like a tread lightly and carry a big stick, you know, that type of energy, right? This is a card of blind faith, right? Optimism for like, what reason? I don't know, but child, you know, it's also even thanking God when you don't have anything. You know, I do that. I thank God every day. Okay? Multiple times, just because it's like, how could you not if you if you have a roof over your head, if you have people in your life that care about you, you know what I mean? But if you don't have people in your life that care about you, or you have figured out that people don't care about you, and you see he's taking his dignity with him, the Fool. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you all different energies with the cards. So this is you keeping your identity. What is that? Your identity. This is you keeping, your dignity, right? And still being optimistic about the future, even when you don't know what the future holds, right? Some people, they only are excited about life, grateful about life, when they have things that show them and prove to them in the material realm that they're doing well, right? But how are you doing spiritually, Let's see what the challenge is to that. Ooh, Two of Swords. Okay, so this is the moon in Libra. We got a new moon coming up in Libra pretty soon. When is it? I was looking at the moon, and I'm going to say it's like in a week and a half. Just by the shape of the moon, just by the phase of the moon, knowing what sign we're in, you know what I mean? And where the sun is in that. You just can figure that out, if you're a navigational type of person, So this is talking about choices that we make, As this card does pertain to the High Priestess, right? This almost kind of relates to the Fool as well. Blind faith, that type of thing. This is also connected to, I would say fear just because it's the moon, but it's the fear of making a decision, the fear of saying something, With this card, it's someone that isn't judging things based on what they see. So this card is like, don't judge things based off of what you see. Judge based off of what you feel. You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to close your eyes and just listen, Yeah, it's about making choices, but like we can go beyond that, right? So, I don't know. What choices are you making? Are you making choices for you? Or are you making choices for other people? Or are you making choices for everyone that's involved, right? Because this is Libra, okay? And Libra is how you relate to everything around you, which is why Libra is a cardinal sign. It's not about relating to just people. It's about relating to people, places, things, ideas, concepts. How do you relate to your perception? How do you relate to dynamic shifts? You know what I mean? And this is connected to relating to dynamic shifts, right? And this is also talking about how things will be revealed in time, So it is about being patient, right? And not just going off of what you see in front of you. You know what I mean? It's about fairness too. So some of you might be a little bit hesitant, to follow your intuition as it pertains to the High Priestess, right? It is about, making a decision that is actually going to shift the dynamic, okay? And this is talking about communication because it's swords, right? So, are you saying what you need to say? Are you hearing what you need to hear? That type of thing. And the Fool is kind of like people call people fools when they think they don't know anything. But really. Okay, so let's look at the Sun. Actually, no. We're going to look at the past. It's the Ace of Cups. Wow, I spoke about that. So here we go. The Ace of Cups is about going with the flow, right? The flow of water, the flow of emotional energy. And this is also talking about how, in the past, you were definitely fruitful all on your own. You know what I mean? And this is also a blessing, right? It's a blessing from the past, or whatever happened in the past was probably a blessing. This is also talking about your own individual emotional stability, not your emotional stability that can be brought on by the existence of someone else, right? Or something else, okay? Because the Ace of Cups is also receptive to materials being put in there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, what kind of emotional energy are you taking on? You know what I mean? And you can redirect the flow of that emotional energy, going with the flow. You know what I mean? And this is God, okay? Because there's the white dove there. White doves are definitely relating to, I would say, the energy of Venus, right? So this is saying that you are fertile, Lotus, all on your own, and you were, okay? And this is talking about emotional satisfaction. So some of you may have experienced something recently that brought you a sense of self-satisfaction, emotional satisfaction. You are having an emotional realization, you know? You're being emotionally inspired. Your intuition is inspiring you to do or say or be something. You know, with the first house, it's I am, right? So who are you emotionally? What are you emotionally aware? You know what I mean? So when you become emotionally aware, you become emotionally empowered, because what the aces are definitely connected to power through the energy of Aries, the first house, and the first ray of consciousness. Okay? And that is relating to Pluto as well. So that's a transformation, and that's an emotional transformation that's happening with the Ace of Cups in the recent past or in the past. You know what I mean? And there's another Lotus that's actually budding. It hasn't even opened up. You know what I mean? So anyway, let me move on. All right. So some of you are going to get exactly what you deserve, and that's a good thing, right? Hopefully it's positive. The Six of Pentacles is about reciprocity, okay? It is about commitment, okay? It's about communication as well. So how does commitment and how does communication go into this card? You know, they say a closed mouth won't get fed. You know what I mean? And also, be careful of what you are receiving from people. Be careful about what you might, I don't know, be purchasing. Because we're in a retrograde, right? And this 6 is connected to the Lovers, which is Gemini. But then the other 6 would be the Devil, right? So we need to understand what's good for us and what is not good for us. You know what I mean? That's what this card gives to me, you know? But it really is about karmic payouts, okay? Because the person in this card is giving the people who are pleading or begging or just, you know, in need, it's giving them what they deserve, you know? And it's allowing them, like I said, the Fool is here, right? Dignity, okay? Uranus. I mean, this is the Moon in Taurus, which is it's an exaltation, okay? So with this card, it's like Taurus, the energy of Taurus is stubborn, right? We know that. That's what everyone always says. And sometimes with the Six of Pentacles, when the moon comes in, it's like being compassionate, you know, towards the needs of others. That's basically what this card is talking about. So we, me too, I, you, they, we need to be more conscious, because it does pertain to the Lovers, of the needs of others, right? And also you need to be consciously aware of what you're putting out there. You know what I mean? For other people. So it's about energy, and that's the reciprocity, right? That's the communication. That's the back and forth, because there is a scale in this, you know? Taking the load off, or taking the weight off, you know? This is also a card of responsibility, feeling called, you know? So some of you need to You know, don't think of giving things away as losing something, right? Think of it as like, you know, paying it forward. That's what this is connected to as well, paying it forward, right? Make a donation, you know? If you don't want to give your stuff away, make a donation if you can, you know? Find the things that you don't wear anymore. Donate that. Donate your time, right? It's a 6. Okay, connected to the devil, which is Capricorn, and that's talking about time. So making better use of your time. You know what I mean? I've definitely been doing that. When I see my phone pop up and it's like, your screen time was down, I'm like, yes, thank God. You know what I mean? Thank God. So just be aware of what it is that you can do to promote good in the world and not negative. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. These are general messages, you guys. Hell yeah. Right. I want you to follow up big time. Kapow, right? You know, they're giving something here out of desperation. Okay? I mean, they're giving something out of these people's desperation or need or lack. You know? I don't know. You don't have a lack mindset. When you have a lack mindset, that is kind of like expectations, and expectations lead to failures all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying don't be, what am I trying to think of? What is the word? I can't think of that shit right now. Sorry. I've been like recovering, honey. But you know what I mean? Like, I got the foggiest brain right now, child. Because I literally have been like, recoup. Okay? And that's retrograde energy. I mean, the Mercury retrograde is in my sign, right? So it's as expected. So this Ace of Pentacles is how the universe is also going to give you something that is going to replenish you emotionally and, you know, materially as well. Whatever that is. I don't know what it is. So this is a gift. This is an offer. It may even be a surprise. You know what I mean? It's planting seeds, yeah? New seeds, okay? And this is the power of potential for you to manifest something new in your life. I spoke about the Libra new moon that's coming up, and that's talking about the clearing of energy. You know what I mean? Clearing of energy. And it's probably a time to be maybe quiet, you know? But I digress. Let me get back to this card. It's making use of this resource. You've got to make better uses of your resources in whatever way. I don't know, you know? This is also something that comes in that transforms your reality, okay, into something different. It is a reduction of the 10 of Pentacles. So with that, I would say the 10 of Pentacles is how you try your damnedest to focus on other people, you know, because in the 10 of Pentacles, it's like a family kind of card. It could even be like a card of community sometimes. But this is talking about focusing on yourself, you know. And you may even be getting those messages, you know, from the universe to focus on yourself. Or something that has happened in your physical world is telling you, right? Because the aces are a form of communication as they pertain to the magician, which is actually Mercury, okay? And also Aries. So I'm saying focus on yourself. And I'm also saying, like, if you create your reality, right? And you are your karma. Aries, I am, okay? Ruled by Mars. Scorpio, to transform, to become. And Mars is exalted in Capricorn, right? So you are definitely your karma. Right? So just remember that. So the energy that you, as in singularity, I don't know, who is Larry? Who is Lawrence? I don't know, child. Somebody named Larry that's single, that somebody, you know, maybe they making an offer, maybe they giving you something. They could be named Lawrence, you know what I mean? I don't hear that name a lot, Larry. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, this is also one of dignity, because you got the white, or the red rose. And what is that other thing? It's a lily. Okay. And I feel like red is like the root chakra, okay, which is your foundation, and the earth signs, or like the earth energy in the cards is talking about foundational energy, fundamentals, okay. So make sure that you get back to being fundamentally you, okay, over this new moon, right? That's the whole thing, okay? Fundamentally you. Let's see, and maybe you need to change some things, right? Because the pentacles and earthly things are connected to habits, because we attach ourselves to things sometimes, and we form habits when we attach ourselves to those things. It could be people, places, or things, right? So it's time to form new habits, or it's time to plant new seeds, right? But not seeds of doubt. Okay, we ain't doing that. Yes. All right. Four of Wands. I love it that this card came up. I do, because I thought about it right before I sat down, you know, or as I was sitting down. I don't know. But this is a full circle moment, right? This would be what is kind of blocked, or what you are blocking, right? Don't block your abundance. You know what I mean? Right? This is definitely about the ego. So some people's egos are blocking them, you know, or creating obstacles for them, right? Because this, to me, pertains to Aries. Obviously, is Venus in Aries. You know what I mean? But for Venus to be in Aries, she either had to go back, or she had to go forward and keep going all around. Right? So this is finally making it, because this is a good card in a position that's supposed to be bad in the reading. You know, it's not a bad position, but it's the most like in the corner that needs to be swept and then vacuumed and then Swiffered or whatever you do to clean out your corners. You know what I mean? I need to do it too. I'm decluttering, I'm cleaning, I'm organizing. I just needed to do it. And I need to create space. Anyway, but this is talking about you need some room, you know? Maybe create some space, some distance between you and the things that you are constantly chasing, you know? Because Venus did go all the way around. And it is Aries. You know, Aries is very constantly chasing. Because if you look at two rams, they always bam, 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 bam. Do you know that Aries ram heads for like 5 to 8 hours straight? They do that for 5 to 8 hours straight. You would think that that would be like kind of time wasting. But it's the tenacity. Okay, so that's what this is. You know, the tenacity for some of you, right? Your tenaciousness is creating some sort of boundary between you and the things that you ultimately want, you know? But I feel like a lot of you have proven some things to yourself, right? Or you have proof of some things, or you are proving something to yourself, or something has been proved to you. Through your actions, okay? Through your persistence, because I talked about tenacity, right? But also persistence is what really gets you all the way around to the goal. And this looks like a field goal, right? So it's saying keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. You know, when I used to hear that song in elementary school, it used to scare the crap out of me. And Follow the Drinking Gorge and all of that. Because, you know, when you black living in the South in Mississippi and they start bringing up slavery and all that stuff and whatever, you're just like, oh my God, how scary. And like, it's me. Like, oh my God, no. But I digress. You know, this is just a freehand kind of freestyle thing. Unstructured, just kind of like off the cuff. All right, so here we go. Mars position, the Page of Swords was in... The pages are not really as prepared. You know, and the Page of Swords In another deck that I have, the Page of Swords has a sword, but their clothes are kind of like tattered. And I don't think that it's from them not having, you know, the means to have clothes that aren't tattered. I think that they were just misusing their sword. Or it could be like the sword was too sharp and they didn't realize it. And so then they cut their own clothes. You know, he's not like this, right? But this is talking about... It's so funny because, like, with the clouds, they look like cylinders. Obviously, there was not that type of engineering or technology back then. It doesn't seem like there would be with these people dressing like this. So it can't be, you know, an exhaustion system. You know what I mean? But, hey, it's coming up, and we're giving you intuitive, right, messages. So what kind of process has been exhausted? Or what idea have you exhausted? Or what idea have you not thought through all the way? Because the page doesn't have the experience to think things through like a knight or a queen or a king. You know what I mean? So just... it's grounding your thoughts. That's what it is. It's not being uncertain. You know, when you are facing uncertainty or when you feel uncertain about life or about yourself, that's a time to kind of like ground your energy. You know, Saturn rules the pages because they have a lot to learn and they need discipline. You know, so this is talking about maybe someone's kids who needs discipline through doing things, right? Some of your kids are telling you that they want to do something. They're communicating that to you because, you know, it's in the Mars position in the reading. But maybe you're not listening because a lot of times the pages are not seen as, you know, we don't have to respect them or we don't have to listen to them or, you know, they're not really saying anything of meaning or whatever. But everyone deserves a level of respect, you know, and respect is very valuable, okay? But the page is learning to respect the sword. You know what I mean? Because you have to respect the sword because you could literally cut yourself with it. That's why you gotta have a sheath for it. You gotta be mindful of who's around when you're taking it out and using it. You have to be mindful of who might be able to get a hold of it and do some damage if you didn't put it away. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. So just be mindful of your preparation. Okay? So let's look at the next position. King of Rods. Okay, really wanna be. Really wanna be. Is that what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay. Is that Luther Vandross? I don't even know. But the King of Rods is definitely connected to the Four of Rods. Here we go. Bam. There it is. You know? Tenacity. Persistence. And this is like in the love Venus position, you know what I mean? So someone is very persistent about, I don't know, it could be love, right? Because it does pertain to this. Maybe someone is noticing some of you guys out there. It could be a Leo, it could be any other fire sign. But the page in this reading is actually facing the King of Rods, and the King of Rods is facing the page, and the Page of Swords is in like the Mars position, but the King of Rods is in the Venus position. Now that's a bit of a mix-up, or not. I don't know, but with them facing each other like this, I don't know who you think gonna win. It's not about winning or losing. I just want to point that out, right? This is probably some people coming face to face in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Both of these are connected to action, right? So this is kind of giving call and response, right? And the call was weaker than the response. You know what I mean? I don't know what that means for y'all. And it could be love as well. You know what I mean? So somebody could have taken an action, but maybe it wasn't like good enough, right? For the King of Rods, because the King of Rods is definitely going to be putting pressure on you. So maybe some of you are feeling pressure from someone that you are in a relationship with, right? The King of Rods is in the Venus position, and the King of Rods is definitely putting pressure. Okay, it's giving Leo, but it's giving Cancer into Leo. Okay, so the Cancer is the emotions that are being held back. You know what I mean? The King of Rods is the King of Rods is intention is based on how they feel, but is hidden. You know what I mean? But usually, when people are kind of aggressive, you can see through it. You know what I mean? And someone's behavior does show you how they actually might be feeling inside. And it's coming from a place of ego. Okay? It's coming from a place of pride. So maybe somebody in your relationship has too much pride. Maybe someone in your relationship has too much ego. Maybe someone in your relationship just thinks about themselves too much. I mean, it's the King of Rods. What do you want me to say? You know? So, you know, maybe someone's ego in a relationship needs to be checked. I don't know. I don't care if it's man, woman, woman, man, whatever. You know what I mean? It could be parent, child. You know what I mean? Because that's literally what this looks like. It looks like a parent and it looks like a child who are kind of like a little bit at odds with each other. And that's crazy to me. I was never like that with my parents. You know, I just never was. Because, you know, I'm from the South, so we learn how to respect our elders at a very young age. You know what I mean? And we learn to respect people at a very young age, too. We learn how to say, excuse me. We know how to say please and thank you. We know how to apologize. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. So the King of Rods is probably teaching Page of Swords a lesson, because Page of Swords is giving Mars and King of Rods is giving Venus, right? But this King of Rods has made it to this position for a reason. No one is going to be promoted if they don't deserve it, right? So if you got promoted at work or something, because Venus is talking about work and stuff too. So some of y'all could have gotten promoted at work, which is great. Some of y'all could be dealing with someone who's an a-hole at work. You know what I mean? And just understand that the person who is being an asshole at work is being an asshole because they're insecure. You know? Seven of Swords. Okay. Wow. This is kind of crazy with the Page of Swords facing the King of Rods, and then the King of Rods has the Seven of Swords behind it. What is the King of Rods keeping back there? You know, because the Seven of Swords is talking about lies. It's talking about deceit. It also is talking about how someone's lies will come back to haunt them or come back to get them. Just because the Seven of Swords is, you know, it's connected to the Tower, right? It's a 7. It's also connected to the Chariot. So, like, lies and deceit could careen out of control. Is anyone's name Corinne? Corey? You know? Or somebody is a liar at their core. I don't know. Right? Or somebody could be trying to, they're saying one thing, but then they're doing another. And it's 5 here. We know that the 5th house is, you know, Leo energy. And I'm not saying it's Leo or anything like that. I'm not saying anything bad about Leos. I love Leos. Leos are amazing. You know? But it is saying that they think they ain't leaving no traces. But the traces are there. right? So that's for some of y'all. And this could be at work too. Somebody could be lying on y'all at work, or somebody could be being deceitful at work. So just be mindful of what is going. You know what I mean? I posted something today and I said, let people do what they want to do, so you can see what they'd rather do, and that will answer all of your questions. Okay? It will. And this is talking about politics too. So someone is using politics. Someone is trying to put someone at a disadvantage in some kind of way. So just, if you sense something, this is giving very, if you see something, say something. Okay? In New York over here on the train, we used to see that all the time. Now we just see mask up. You know what I mean? But this is also talking about a mask, right? So this could be the mask that's trying to distract from this. Everything I said. But like I said, this is what it's giving. Right? This is what it's giving right here. Literally on the table, right? Look at the King of Rods. Child, look at this one. Did all that. Came all the way around. It very much gives like wheel type of energy. Boomerang. Okay? Marcus, darling. We know boomerang. Stranger, which basically means strange. Okay, so let's look at the future. Yes, I'm living for this. Just because Seven of Swords, right. It's retracting. Okay. Six of Swords is talking about releasing the burden. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't really have the time to be thinking or to be focused on that nonsense. You know what I mean? Not I, meaning you all, me, we, they, he, she, thee. Sometimes I be writing. Child, I got raps, but I'm not a rapper. I'm a writer. Okay. Six of Swords. So it's moving on from rough waters to calm waters. Yes. But it is also releasing the burden of the past. Because it's connected to time. Saturn does rule Aquarius. Right? What are the burdens of the past that we are releasing now? That we have become consciously aware of the karmic effects of our ignorance to how the things that we have been doing have been harming us this whole time, right? I say us because I don't know who I'm speaking to. Sort of. But, yeah. This is also someone who might be coming to your rescue and showing you the direction that you need to go in. This is going in a new direction, too. This is good. The burden has been lifted. And then it's going back to that 6 again. That 6 of Pentacles that we had up here at the very top. Mercury in Aquarius. That was the last place that we had the retrograde. Not the last place. The last place was Gemini. But before that, it was in Aquarius, which was like around the winter time. It might have been like, I don't know, January, February, something like that, But yeah, this is saying... Sorry, I told you. Sorry. Here they go. It's not about, my throat chakra is not being attacked. Okay? I'm recovering from a little bit of a cold because I was going ham. I go ham, I don't eat ham. Sam, I am. Okay, so let's look at the last one at the top here because I got to get in the shower and get going. Yes! 3 of Wands. Actually, in this deck, it's the 3 of Rods. So this is kind of like a card of waiting for your ships to come in, right? But this is also about being patient, right? Because, you know, this is Aries. Aries is impatient, you know? That's why they say patience is a virtue. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might think you know what you want, but God, the universe, because God created the universe, God created the galaxy, God created everything, right? God knows what you need. God isn't going to give you what you want. God is going to give you what you need. And if you are constantly trying to chase what you want and not thinking, 3rd house, Gemini, about what you need, you will never be able to experience the fruits of your labor. Where is it even coming from? You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to let God surprise you. You know what I mean? You know, we try to play God a lot. And you're still coming up short. You know? But this is saying something is going to surprise you. Leave room for that element of surprise. You know? And I was talking about those unseen corners. Right? This is kind of like a twist of fate, too. Okay? It's like you thought that you were just getting that, but you're also getting this. Turn around. Don't turn around if you don't want to see my heart breaking. Whatever that is. But, you know, it's about being at peace with who you are. Okay? And it's like you have a vision, but you have to let God add to your vision. Right? This is about letting things come to you in time. Life is layered, just like this image. And sometimes you just have to trust the hands of fate. You know? I hope that some of you guys got some messages out of this. It may have been all over the place because, as you saw, I am recovering. I've just been, you know, going. And, ciao. Too much. But, that's going to be it for today. And hopefully I will see you all soon. I'm going to get my butt in the shower and get out of here very soon because I got stuff to do today. And I feel capable. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I wish everyone well, okay? Blessings. Evolutions, okay? Learning things along the way, not getting stuck in your old ways, not getting stuck in your current ways, okay? All of that. Anyway, super animated, even when I'm sick. Of what? Bye.